Hello, I'm old Mr. Kent. On my morning e-trike ride, I'm 82 years old, and here comes a car. And I have to apologize for my last video. If you happen to watch it, went way too long, and I wasn't paying attention to the time like I should have been. And so I'm sure it was quite boring for folks who aren't interested in music. I'm sorry about that too. But it is a big part of my life, has always been a big part of my life. And so in order to cover all the bases, it just took me a while to get it all covered. And as a matter of fact, as it turned out, I forgot a couple of items. So this is going to be part 2, and hopefully it won't be as long and as boring as the other one. I hope. Anyway, it's part of my life, so if you want to know about old Mr. Kent, well, this is a part of it. So let's back up to when I was young and spunky. And there comes, well, he's turning, so that's good. Years ago, when my dad was working, he went to work one day, and some guy at work had a small accordion that he had got somewhere, and he had it for sale for $10. Why is my throat doing this? I don't know. So my dad bought it because he knew I'd be interested in it. So when I went over to visit my dad, or my folks, he gave it to me, and they took a picture of me holding it like I was playing it. At that point, when they took the picture, I really didn't know how to play it. I mean, the piano keyboard, I could play a tune on, but as far as knowing how to play it and make music on it, I didn't. But it didn't take me long until I was able to play it and play it well, and brought it home. I had a friend who lived up in Spokane. I lived in Pasco, Washington at the time, which is in the southeast corner of the state of Washington. And I had a friend who lived up in Spokane who loaned me his full-size accordion, and I had it for a few months, and he gave me some tips on how to do the rhythm and make it sound better. And then a lady in our church, she had one, but it was for a small child, and I tried it for a while, and she gave it to me, but I tried it for a while, and the piano keys were so close together that my fingers, they wouldn't, you couldn't really play it well. So I gave that to somebody, but she gave it to me, and I gave it to somebody with a small child. So anyway, for many years I had that accordion that my dad gave me. Well, remember I got the job as a chief engineer at a Christian radio station, and they had a big church, and they had 20 Sunday school buses, and I think I found a picture of my Sunday school class, which had between 80 and 100 and over 100 kids every Sunday, because they had all the buses, and they had a big day coming up. They wanted me to play my accordion, and they knew I could walk on stilts around the country, around the cities, the 3 different cities, that Kennewick, Richland, and Pasco. It's called the Tri-City area, and they wanted me to walk around playing the accordion, and then on my stilts. And my wife somebody took a picture of me wearing the stilts. I didn't get a picture of me playing the accordion and wearing the stilts, but I did that and went around playing the Mickey Mouse song from the old days. Who's the leader of the gang that's great for you and me? MICKEYMOUSE. And I walked along through the neighborhoods playing that. And of course, the parents would hear it and the kids would hear it, and they'd all run out. And then I had people walking along with me, and they'd hand out brochures and invite the kids to Sunday school on that special day. and of course it was a big day, and they had brought in a whole lot of kids. It was like a record-breaking day, you know, because I brought in so many kids doing that. And I mean, I had to walk up hills and down hills, steep hills, and I had a couple of drunks trying to pull me over. And that outfit that I was wearing, they would grab the tails, but I made it. I never fell over once, and they would haul me in the back of a pickup truck to the area where I was supposed to walk around, and it was kind of fun. I enjoyed it. Well, then, I shouldn't tell you this story, but it's kind of interesting. Excuse me. A year went by, and they were going to do it again. In the meantime, I was in a motorcycle wreck and broke my right leg, and it was still pretty well messed up and healing. And by the way, we had a whole lot of rain yesterday, finally, after 5 months of drought. So anyway, they wanted me to do it again. Well, my leg was so sore, and they had this brand new young pastor straight out of college, and he was working with the young kids. And I still had my Sunday school class, but he was the head guy. And he wanted me to go walk on stilts again. Well, I tried it one day, and I went for a little ways, and it was so painful I just couldn't do it. So he came into my office, and he said, you got to keep doing it. You got to keep doing it. And I said, I tried one day, and it was so painful I couldn't do it. And he looked at me. Remember, and I'd been teaching Sunday school for several years, and I love those kids. And he looked at me, and he said, you just don't love those kids. Never in my life have I ever wanted to punch a pastor in the face as much as that one moment in time. He did. Just a young kid, didn't know what he was talking about. So anyway, I shouldn't tell that story, but it was true. He just didn't understand. So anyway, so that was I had a lot of fun with that accordion, and I played it for a lot of different things. And then I ended up giving it away to my nephews and nieces who were getting into music. Okay, so then later on in life, my granddaughter, who is now in her 20s, when she was in junior high, I guess it was, she got a music class and had the opportunity to learn how to play the violin. And so I helped her out a little bit, and we went and found a place to rent violins, and so she rented a violin, and I brought it home, and she was practicing, and I picked it up, and I thought I'd see if I could play the violin. Well, as it turned out, the first time I picked it up, I played Amazing Grace on it, just like that. And I thought, well, this is fun, you know. And so I went out and I found me a violin. I bought one. And of course, you know, if you've ever heard anybody practice a violin, it's pretty screechy and sounds terrible. But you know, I was getting better and better. But my wife was going crazier and crazier listening to the screeching. So then we decided, okay, it's too high pitched. So we sold that and bought a viola, which is lower based violin type of instrument. And so I practiced on that, and it's much lower bass. And so I was still practicing and getting a little better and a little better, but it's still, if you hit something wrong, it still made the high screeching sounds. And I don't want a wife that's crazy, or any crazier than one I got. But anyway, so I kept practicing and kept driving my wife more and more crazy. So it was just, it was just irritating her. I mean, it just wasn't something that was worth bothering my wife that bad. So I got rid of my violins and my violas, and those were a couple more instruments that I used to in my life. I played music with, and the accordion I should have kept. I should never have given it away because I really enjoyed that and it was fun and easy. But big-hearted me, I gave it to some other people. So anyway, now what we're going to do is we're going to head home. See, this is going to be a much shorter one, which is you're probably glad to hear that. We're going to head home to the little cottage that my son built for me and my wife, and I'm going to show you one more instrument that, believe it or not, I cannot play, but it's a very special, probably the most special instrument that I've ever had. So let's head over there right now. So here we are in the little bungalow that my son built for my wife and me a couple years ago. And this is, I'll just uncover it here. This is a piano keyboard, electronic keyboard, but not the one that you saw in the video where I was unboxing it. This is a newer one. The one in the video that we unboxed, we bought because we weren't sure that I'd be able to play after being away from a piano for several years and my old fingers, but I was able to get right into it and play. And so it had a few drawbacks. Plus we upgraded to this one here, which is a much better piano. I don't want to get into theory too much, but for instance, on this piano, if you know anything about a stringed instrument, when you strum it, the strings vibrating back and forth like this, and then that means it's longer than when it's standing still, which means it's stretched, and when it's stretched, it's a little higher note. So this piano is designed so that when it stops, when the note dies off, it actually drops down a little bit in tone. I don't know if you ever noticed that in a stringed instrument. So this is designed to be like a real piano. And so it costs a little bit more, but anyway, but this is cardboard. It keeps the cat from playing the piano. It keeps the dust off of the keys and everything. But that's not what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you this. Now, my son built us this building, and it's very accurately made. And then a couple years ago, for my birthday, he built this box out of pine and made it from scratch. And then in this box, he made a Indian flute that he gave me. And what he did was, there's a guy, his name was Alan Lee, and he went and visited him night after work and learned how to, well, first of all, this box, Alan Lee showed him how to make the box that it goes in, and then he showed him how to make an Indian flute. Now the only problem is I have this finger that got cut off in a lawnmower many years ago, and so when he gave it to me, I tried playing it and get it over the holes. But this finger doesn't hold up, doesn't close the hole like it should. And so I was never able to play it. And as you can see, I don't practice on it because it doesn't work. But of all the instruments that I've ever had, this one is by far the most precious instrument that I have. And unfortunately, I'm not able to play it because of a malfunction in my finger, and so not only that, but it doesn't. The Indian, what would you call it, scale, doesn't match anything that I could play a tune on, and so, but that's not important. But the problem is my finger. So, and then also, besides that, he wrote me, I'm not going to read it, but you're the man. He wrote me a poem to go with the flute for my birthday, and so that's pretty special to me. So anyway, I wanted to show you this because it's another musical instrument in my life. Music, and probably that's part of the reason he gave me this for my birthday, because he knows I love music and I love the instrument and I love my son. And so anyway, as I close this instrument up in its case, that kind of closes my videos on the music that's been in my life all my life. So I want to thank you for watching my video, and God bless.